Hey everyone, welcome to the Amateur American F1 podcast. Today we are reporting live from Austin and we are racing in Hungary. And man, I am hungry for some racing, aren't you, Tanner?
I am hungry
For some beer?
for some beer, and I'm also hungry for some Lewis Hamilton action. Wait. Lewis Verstappen action.
Lewis Verstappen. Did he
bad.
change his name?
No, but, I mean, they're basically going to get married at this point, right? I mean, they practically
right?
are in love.
And you guys love our controversial opinion about how Lewis was not at fault. That's great. It's aged a little poorly, I must say, but still,
Jesus.
I don't know, man.
Oh, I did top speed.
Anyway, we're here in Hungary. Do you want to go back and change your speed? It's a tough track. We'd love to talk about it.
It is a very tough track. Usually me and Patrick will do, 5-lap, practice runs just to get used to everything. Go ahead and...
But this is pretty damn hard. And I'm going to do maximum downforce because I'm going to give myself the best cushion.
Yeah.
I can. Whoa! We're already starting. Okay,
Yeah.
welcome. So,
also, I'm going to turn off my
Anyway.
speaker.
So as you bear with us here, a little history on the
No,
track.
I think we should restart.
No, we think you should restart?
Yeah.
All right. Why? That was a good intro. We can cut some of it in there.
All right, yeah, we'll do increased downforce. Okay. Bene.
All right.
All right, you know
Are we
what?
starting over? Or
No, we'll keep it going. You're right. That was good.
All right. Well, thanks for sticking with us, folks. We're still figuring out the kinks of this podcast. I know
But-
Tanner's kink is a little bit of Hamilton and Verstappen, but
Yeah, I am
mine
excited.
personally is good racing.
Wow.
Anyway, this track, man. Wow, what a crazy track. As they call it, the Monaco without the buildings. That's actually a nickname for the track.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Because of all the turns.
Interesting. That is very... Yeah, I mean, I never play this game, this map in the game, ever. Probably for that fucking reason. And like I said, we do 5-lap practice rounds before every podcast. And I was having a terrible time adjusting and just looking at how fast you're supposed to be going through these corners and how frequent they are, dude. 2 hours of this, my stomach would be mush, dude. These drivers are...
I mean, the amount of G's you probably experience on these corners is probably horrible.
I mean, I think the average G's of every turn is 5.
Yeah. I mean, we can say that with somewhat certainty, but we're not sure at all,
I mean,
are we?
Max experience 51, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is honestly pretty... Yeah, I mean...
It's pretty horrible. I mean, I know we kind of... Well, we don't have to apologize for it, but I do think that the hysteria was a little much.
The reaction, even Christian Horner eventually came to say, well, I don't think he admitted to overreacting, but he did call it a racing accident and kind of stepped back a little on his super. What if we see this lineup for quality?
Right? That would be...
Bottas, Verstappen, Ham.
Well, I mean, it is interesting. I remember Bottas last year had much better qualifying times, just in general. This year, not much. I mean, we're seeing increased output from him. He's doing a lot better now, but...
Yeah. I was saying this track seems a little forgettable, but after, playing it and kind of recognizing it for what it is...
It's probably fun as a driver.
I might redact that statement.
Well, anyway, this rate...
Yeah, me and Patrick are clearly...
As we rewatched this footage during the editing, we noticed that these guys on the corners, they have the same exact reactions.
The pit guys
look like they're mirrored exactly. It's
the
hilarious.
Animations, the guys.
You can tell they
headsets.
kind of cut a corner in the game design. But anyway, what I'm going to say, I will introduce a little bit of history of this race after we do the first couple corners because we obviously want to get a good start.
All right. Pray for me because I'm going to focus entirely on not sucking.
I mean, we'll see. And also, we're dealing with a new mic setup. We're trying something new, so bear with us in that department. But thanks for your patience if you're watching, and, hope this inspires you to make something.
Fuck, dude. Who the fuck was that? Fucking Ricardo, dude. He just slammed right into me, dude. What the
Dude, the AI is ruthless in these games. I mean...
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, fuck you,
It's an
Ricardo.
infuriating track. I mean, I am on the edge of my seat here.
Jesus, dude.
I am sitting in the back and loving it. Leclerc in the back where he belongs, like you think, right?
No, I do like Leclerc as a driver. I just like to give him shit for being so beautiful.
Aw.
And also from the fact that he's from Monaco, you know.
Yeah, I mean, sure, privilege, that screen.
I mean, I don't know what his privilege is, but I mean...
No, I mean, he's probably well off. Anyway, so some history about the course. So the first race was held in 1936. How I remember that number, I don't know. Probably because I wrote it down.
I did look it up, too.
Anyway, so first race, 1936. Suspended for 50 years because of complications from World War II and obviously the Iron Curtain. Bernie Ecclestone was one of the first people to kind of try to push past it, and he really wanted it to be in the USSR. But, obviously, before the Berlin Wall fell, that was probably hard to get done. So, it didn't happen until 1986. So, they've been racing here ever since. Anyway, I find that kind of interesting.
Yeah, the history. I mean, F1 as a sport, especially in, like, the European arena, is just, like...
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of World War II impact in there.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, but...
You know...
I don't know.
As filmmakers, I feel like that would be a fun background to explore, just as terms in, like, a historical, like,
yeah, trying to organize the
piece.
first, like, USSR race. Also, my wing is screwed.
No, I just mean, like, a period piece about, like, I don't know, F1 racing, like, after World War II, kind of like Bicycle Thieves or something.
Yeah, that would be interesting. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, that is a copyrighted,
Yeah, so if you steal that, cease and desist coming your way.
Yeah.
Anyway, pretty interesting stuff. There's actually a lot of history on the track here. There's been some good races. Unfortunately, I'm a noob and I didn't get to watch them. But there are a lot of good ones. So if you are interested in racing history, check it out.
I did look up Lewis Hamilton has won here 8 times as of 2020, beating Michael Schumacher for
Well,
the most races won at a GP.
no, it's tied.
Is it tied?
It's tied. So if he wins here, that is a new record.
Well, I hope he gets it. Because Lewis Hamilton is not my favorite driver. But as I was saying with Patrick, and it's probably privately, but like especially with last race with his celebrations and like him waving his flag and everything, and just him being like a person of color, like specifically a black person, waving the British flag and having all those fans just like adoring him, like that. That means a lot to a lot of people.
Absolutely, the flag of colonialism, essentially. Really, I mean, like
Yeah, I mean.
Historically,
for sure. It's like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's got to feel good. And it's it's the first race, in front of a crowd like that. Like, I don't know. I think it's over-exaggerated and,
The one thing I will apologize for sort of downplaying is we listened to our podcast last week and we were like, dude, that was a tiny crash, bro. Like, that was nothing.
No,
like,
yeah, it was a massive crash.
It's like, that was a huge crash. And I will, this is my public apology to Max Verstappen and Red Bull Racing.
Just so we don't get canceled.
Just so.
No, I'm just kidding. We actually did, like, believe that. Like, of course, with little information, you make poor judgment, right?
Yeah, or experience amateurs.
Yeah. Yeah. Still, this race is going to be good because we need to see Red Bull fight, and they need to realize
that is interesting. Yeah, I mean that's what everyone basically was saying. That like, I mean, Max Verstappen unfollowed Lewis Hamilton on Instagram. Like the gloves are off.
That's hilarious.
People. Like this is
kind of cute.
It is a little bit. I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm here for it. I'm ready for and the fact that Lewis Hamilton could not give a shit. Like he just He's just like every story, like everything he posted afterward was just like
he just does not care
himself.
But we don't know. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Did you see the drama that like Nico Rosberg was like, my rivalry with Hamilton was more intense? And it's like, yeah, of course.
Well, yeah.
Stop trying to be real. No, he.
Oh, I
do like Nico Rosberg.
I love his little track analysis every.
Oh, you got into those. I
Yeah.
told you they're good. Like he tells you his experience around each corner and how to master it.
It's
cool.
just such a weird turn of fates because everyone's like, Bottas is the only Mercedes driver to not win a world championship, and like Rosberg got one and had probably like one of the like most infamous feuds with his rivalries with a team member, and now he's basically just become a streamer. Like,
it's true, but more so than like someone like Norris. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, the Zoomers. Yeah,
which is also like an interesting like, I don't know.
I mean, it's interesting for us because I don't think we've ever talked about this, Patrick. But like, with us becoming fans right now, we're kind of like entering a new era. Yeah, like we're in the waning years of Kimi versus Hamilton, Vettel, and like George, Pierre.
Well, I actually wanted to bring that up, and it's a good segue you brought that. There was a tweet that was on the F1 subreddit, and I bring it up because it's kind of interesting. J.J. Watt, you know J.J. Watt, do you? No?
Nope.
Well, he's a pro athlete. He plays football. It's a name. People know. And he did tweet about him being like, yeah, I'm kind of getting into F1. It's funny to watch Christian Horner like stick up for his boy Max Verstappen and watch the feud between him and Hamilton. So, I mean, that's getting some reach, and it's getting the sport introduced to new audiences.
Definitely.
And as small as something like that is, it's interesting to watch. I don't know.
I mean, as cool as like all like the science and technological part and history of F1 is, I think the greatest part is the drivers. Like I said last week, like the drivers and the team principals, like you go on like, any like meme account or see whatever, and it's all about the drivers. So it's like, if it's the personality of it, that's what makes racing fun.
Well, that's what makes
follow
anything interesting to people is watching ourselves, right?
I suppose.
I guess, like, who would care if the sport was just robots,
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that is. Oh, I'm supposed to box.
Just a bunch of Teslas, like, like a simulation.
Yeah, no.
That would be weird.
But it is interesting, the emotion behind everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sports are hella emotional, and I think we've already discussed this on the podcast, but they are, You're going to put 110 effort into everything you do. You should, if you're an athlete. You're paid for it.
I mean, that's what makes them an athlete, man. Like,
yeah, that's what gets them to their spot, arguably.
But yeah, what else?
Well, anyway, there's been a lot of hints towards
Valtteri.
What's going on in Mercedes. Oh no,
it's fine.
Well,
Mercedes,
anyway.
Yeah.
Well, so let's do the two big updates we've heard. So there is more rumors about Bottas going to Alfa Romeo, which is essentially fueled upon the idea that Alfa Romeo is like, of course we'd probably take him. I think. Don't quote me on that. And then Toto Wolff also said if Bottas isn't... He basically said if he's not signed by us, we're going to make sure he gets into a good team. Which was a really interesting statement to even make in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean...
I
think
late pit stop here.
I don't know. I think they're playing a little bit of a game because obviously you don't want to feed fuel to the fire.
Yeah, as well as George Russell also.
Oh yeah, didn't they say that like because he was
everyone.
walking down the street in Britain, it means he had the seat or something like that? Did you see that?
No, the one thing I did see was he posted a photo of him like on some street in London. He's like London in summertime.
Yes.
You just said him walking down something that's not descriptive.
It's
But
fair.
it's him.
It's close enough.
But that's
He's
not,
walking down a street. It's the same.
But that's not what led people to believe.
All right, what did? Tell me.
What did?
Give me the analysis.
Don't interrupt me, you fucking...
What rocked you?
Interrupt me, you fucking 20 out of 20 place. P20?
Tell me.
So...
Get on with it.
As Patrick so elegantly described, he was walking down a street, a nondescript street in a nondescript city, which was London.
Dude, that was obviously London. You can tell that from a mile away. They show that in like Sherlock, that same street.
Yeah, but he also said, and I'm making a joke. Anyway, the man himself, Rusle, posted that photo, and he said, "No place I'd rather be than London in summertime," or something like that.
All right, what is that?
And Lando Norris responded, "So you'd rather not be in your race car," leading people to say, "Oh,
you think he knows?" Do you think Norris knows? Is that what the speculation is?
No, he's just feeding into it.
Oh, he's just kind of... I mean, listen. I think the man kind of deserves it. He's been putting up a great... We talk about this all the time.
Dude, am I really in P2 from a pit stop? Holy shit.
He's been putting up great results in qualifying. And, he really hasn't had to experience a lot of, combat, per se. Wheel-to-wheel action.
Whom?
Russell. At least in F1.
Well, yeah.
In F2, sure. But F1, yes.
I mean, yeah, he is a up-and-coming... He's a rookie. Well, I don't know if he's a rookie, but he's up-and-coming. I would not say he's a rookie. I mean, this is like his third season, so...
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's the future. This is, exciting to see the transition.
Yeah. Anyway, apologies while we try to figure that audio out. We're going to get better mics eventually, but right now it's fairly directional, but it is going to pick up
each other. And
and just ambient noise.
Ambient noise.
Living in the city, big city does not have we're in a medium-sized city. It's easier with roommates. But you appreciate the struggle, guys.
The struggle is real. Listen, this is only we made our channel, so this will be our first video posted on the new channel. This is going to be the first video on the channel. That's a win. That is a win, So, if this ever gains traction, which who knows if it ever will, but we will continue.
It's the milestone. It's the first milestone, really.
And people watch this, they will see our growing pains, and they will recognize that we were...
memers.
Well, we were once young, and we were dumb, but we still tried.
We were broke, but we tried.
And we were broke. We're thinking about buying a new microphone, but...
I think maybe, but we gotta tread lightly on that, because we already have a decent mic. Whoa! Okay.
Fucking A, man.
This race is hard.
Dude,
he don't
those
practice.
Fucking curbs, dude. Ugh! And I was in a purple sector, too. Jesus Christ.
Well, anyway.
The fact that these racers can fucking have that happen to them in real life and then get on Instagram and be like, "We'll get him next week, fellas." Like, that requires some fortitude. Dude. Like, I'm just like, dude... I mean, obviously, I'd probably have a level head if it was real life, but...
Well, if you're a pro athlete, losing has to piss you off. Like, I was listening to a Tony Romo interview, and he was basically saying that. And it's like, if you don't have that mentality, if you're not pissed off by losing, then you're kind of not going to want to try harder again.
Yeah.
You have to be pissed off, but not discouraged completely. And that's with anything.
That is with anything. That's what makes me think that, like, I mean, a couple races ago, Russell was, I think it was the second Austrian GP. Russell was in the closing laps, and he was in P10, and he was fighting off Alonso.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I don't have that competitive edge. Like, I don't have that, like, need, that desire to, like, dominate. But obviously, Alonso does. And like,
dude, he's been doing great.
I mean, he's been doing great, but it's just like, you would feel like some people would be like, oh, like, I'll do my best to, like, I'll let George Russell have this one. Like, at least let him get a point. But it's like, no, dude. Like, he's like competitive person. And it's like, holy shit.
But why would you want to give it to Russell? That would just make Russell feel worse at the end of the day.
Well, that's what I mean. But also, like, he wouldn't, like, he probably didn't even have that thought. He was just like, I'm going to win this. Like, this is my point. I'm going to get this point. Like, that's
absolutely. I mean, it's ruthless. And that's that's actually the first time I can think of in the season where I actually was like, maybe Alonso is good for the sport. Because we didn't release the podcast, but early on we had talked about Alonso, and I was not a fan of it because I was like, why is he coming back? Like, like, there's no real point. It's just going to be there for the clout for the team. It's a new team. But, I mean, he's showing his worth. I mean, he's doing good. Like, he's doing way better than Vettel. Who's the comparable person here besides Raikkonen, who's personally, I don't want to say irrelevant, but I think he needs to leave.
Yeah, I feel like if there were seat changes, Kimi would be the one to go this season.
Absolutely.
Just because I feel, oh, Jesus. That was stupid. God damn it.
Well, anyway, how do you feel about Kimi?
I mean, I just feel like, people love him as, like, God fucking damn it, man.
And, I mean, you have to understand, yeah, like, I guess he's good for drawing people, but not really anymore. I mean, you're dealing with a new group of people now.
Yeah.
And I think a Kimi departure would be... I mean, I don't know. Some team could scoop him up, but the man has driven for, like, amazing teams. I mean, he's driven for Ferrari.
He's won world championships.
Alfa Romeo, he's won world championships. And it's cool to have him on the grid, but unfortunately, I think it's just...
But at the cost of new people.
At the cost of new people, yeah, I completely agree.
Why am I driving such shit today?
And, like, some people were speculating on, like, who would Mercedes possibly have as a replacement for Bottas besides Russell. And, like, it was really interesting because, like, there's not much when you think about it. Like, maybe Hülkenberg, but that man is not ready for a Mercedes seat.
I don't think so. I think they would
I think he's almost done.
I mean, Verstappen...
it was cool to see him last season, though.
And Norris are the only other competitors, at least... But they're tied to their team.
Well, you have to remember this is Mercedes. They're expecting the best. And, like, even a Russell thing is a little... Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit of a risk, but...
Well, I mean...
I think they knew going on. Like, they've always attached themselves to them.
Well, I mean,
He's been
the whole
in the
junior...
young driver program.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that. The whole junior driver thing. And, like...
They've been grooming
I don't think Max or... Lando, even if they were extended the offer, would leave their teams because it's like those like
absolutely not. Yeah.
So it's like there's really no one else. They'd have to, pick from F2 or.
Yeah, and there's no way that's happening. I mean, you have an F2 star essentially. I mean, he won the championship.
Yeah. Well. After playing this race, I can clearly see now why these guys are the best drivers in the world.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, you're right. There was another little bit of trivia I read up on this. A lot of drivers say this is one of their favorite tracks, including Max Verstappen. But a lot of drivers say it's one of their least favorite tracks, too. So, like, it says a lot about the track.
I can see it, dude. These corners are so fast. They're so sharp, too. There's only like 2 or 3 straightaways where you can really lay down in the power.
It's going to be very hard to do any overtaking here. So it might be a boring race, if you want to call it that.
That's what I was thinking.
But playing it, no matter what, is fun.
I mean, nothing stuck out to me when I was when I watched it last year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is the risk for taking a sip.
Simping for a sip.
Yeah, man. Well, you don't come here for the racing. You come here for the pod. I hope.
Yeah, and to hear our roommate eating
Oh,
in
what's
the
up,
background.
Hamilton? You just laughed at me, man.
Thanks.
What's up, bro?
What's up, Leclerc?
Yeah, how do you've refined your opinion about Leclerc? You respect him as a driver now?
I mean, I've always respected him. It's just like, it's just a meme at this point.
What, that you don't want to like him?
Woo!
Sorry, Russell.
Well, you just act like he's like the second coming of Jesus, and I'm like, dude, he's in a
That's
Ferrari.
obviously Giovinazzi.
Wow. But it's like, I'm just like, there's other drivers who have like paid their dues.
So the only thing I have to say about Leclerc is I think he's one of the only people that has a chance of taking on Verstappen and Hamilton.
I mean, he has before. Like, he's won races.
I think he's the closest person in a top tier team that has a chance of a WDC.
I mean, he's the only person of that generation in a top tier team who's done it. Like,
he has the best shot at a championship.
I mean, I guess you could argue that Pierre was a teammate with Verstappen and did not, but he was also fucking like a rookie. Like, he was not experienced.
I agree, but I don't think Pierre Gasly has a championship in him yet.
And then George Russell has also been stuck with the Williams, but I mean, he got, I mean, as we saw in
It's possible, man. I mean,
Bahrain.
I don't know. If he like gets close to winning his first year, everyone's like, "What?" That'd be cool. I must admit.
I mean, I don't know why you're so infatuated with Leclerc. It's like he's
With
the
who?
only person that we've seen who's like literally in a competitive car, the Ferrari, who's able to like actually, use the full power, use all
he
their
does
power.
way better. He did way better than Vettel, and he still does somewhat better than Sainz most of the time. I love the hustle that Sainz has.
My name is.
I just
Carlos
don't
Sainz.
think he's championship caliber.
Oh yeah, I mean, some people you think they got it, and clearly they, I don't want to say disappoint, but they
Well, Sainz is just a good driver.
They plateau.
Like, that doesn't mean any. I mean, he's a good
consistency is also very important,
driver. Yeah.
which
But
Ricardo
let's say
has
it
not
like
been
this. Let's
consistent.
say Leclerc has star power, essentially.
What does that mean?
I mean, he has the capability of being something great.
But okay, but that's just star power.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like Sainz doesn't have that. He's just a consistent driver.
Well,
He's
Sainz is
good.
also older, been driving longer.
It's like Perez, dude.
Same with, Perez is a good example. I mean, people were, yeah. All right, yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, people were, they almost dumped Perez because he doesn't have star power.
Yeah.
But he was like, fuck you guys. I don't have star power, but I fucking have skill, and he fucking went off last season.
He did. That was
and-
one of the reasons why I loved watching the pink Mercedes so much. All right.
And it is really interesting watching him adapt to the Red Bull team, because it's like every other driver from the Red Bull driver program did not adapt that well. And I think it's just experience, dude, because I think Red Bull is so all eggs in one basket that, like, they make every other driver or every second driver in Red Bull who isn't Max have to adapt to it. And I think that just is too much. But Perez is, is experienced. He's seasoned. And
Absolutely.
I am not in the points, and I fucked my race up.
I'm doing horrible.
Yeah, okay. Well, the Amateur American F1 podcast probably ranks this as the hardest race on the grid so far out of all the races
Absolutely.
that we've seen and done, even harder than Monaco.
I would say so just because of the lack of familiarity.
That is also true. I don't ever really race on this map, and I play some online games, and no one ever chooses Hungary as a map to play on.
Yeah, it's an under-raced race in the game, at least.
But I am looking forward to the Netherlands GP, which I think is Spa's
31st.
next.
It's the next race. It's a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
but
the summer break.
Anyway, this race I'm excited for. I do think Hamilton is going to win.
I hope he does. And I hope Verstappen wins the next one, and then I hope it just continues to go back.
I hope
and
it's
forth.
close, but I want him to win that record. I think that would be a great record.
Yeah. Overall, yeah, I will say I want Hamilton to at least win his 8th.
Absolutely.
Just because it means so much to so many athletes around the world.
Yeah, man. It means a lot.
But I also want Verstappen. I don't want it to be easy for Lewis.
Absolutely.
I don't want him to take turn 1 and then just lead the race.
We want an exciting race. Absolutely.
And I forgot I have a 10-second time penalty, so Giovinazzi beat me. No, wait,
nice.
No. Never mind. Even with a time penalty, I was
Honestly,
still
respect.
Fine. No, I like Giovinazzi. I was kind of worried because I was like, if they put Bottas at Alfa Romeo, does that mean Jesus is gone? But I'm like, no, they'd probably boot Kimi.
They got to boot Kimi. If they boot Giovinazzi, I think that's a mistake.
I mean, also another thing about it is that, like, a lot of these drivers, kind of put all of their heart and everything into it. And as much as we love Kimi's, like, persona, like him saying, like, oh, it's just a hobby, like,
it's kind of selfish.
Yeah, it's like okay, dude, like, these drivers, they got to put everything in. And, like, I mean, he's won world championships, and I mean, he's put in his time, like, he's earned his stripes, and, like,
yeah,
he's an old man.
Time to move on. Go to IndyCar.
Maybe Grosjean.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Hopefully we don't see this
soon.
Screen. Oh, there's
probably
your boy.
do a couple episodes in the meantime. So
Vettel and Alonso, P3 and P4.
I know, right? Anyway, as we were talking shit about them.
Now, I like Alonso.
I do too.
I never disliked him, nor do I like Vettel.
We will see you.
But yeah,
when we see you.
We'll see you next time.